Today, we're coming to you from the grand halls of the University of Birmingham, an institution steeped in discovery and research since 1900. The University of Birmingham was the UK's first civic university, a place designed for everyone, not just the privileged few. Every one of our graduands today is part of that proud tradition of learning and achievement. Degree congregations at the University of Birmingham date back to 1901 and are held here in the Great Hall, right at the heart of our Edgbaston campus. Attended by nearly 30,000 graduates and guests each year, these events are the highlight of the university calendar and represent for many students the conclusion of their studies at Birmingham. Originally built as a cathedral to learning, the Great Hall never fails to impress our visitors. The building is Grade 2 listed, and it's really the details that make the space so special. It features a trompe-l'oeil domed ceiling located above its formal marble entrance. The entrance is bordered by archways that are designed to draw the eye towards the centre of the room. The music you can hear is being performed by our very own student musicians. They often perform versions of modern pop hits or songs with a Birmingham connection. As our graduands wait for the ceremony to start, this is a time for them to reflect on how far they've come. They may think back to the first lecture they attended in a packed lecture hall, making friendships that will last a lifetime. Maybe they're thinking back to their first eureka moment, when their chosen field of study finally clicked into place. Or perhaps they're thinking about late-night debates in the guild, that group project that pushed them to their limits, or the spark of inspiration when they saw their research was really making an impact. Today, they close one chapter and open another. A degree from the University of Birmingham is more than just a name on a certificate. Our graduates are recognised by employers for their resilience, creativity, and dedication. Soon, they'll find many exciting opportunities waiting for them. A quick shout out to the staff, students and volunteers who have made this special day possible. We couldn't have done it without you. Also, a reminder to share your photos from today on social media. Make sure to tag our accounts so we can engage with your moment. The audience is a mixture of graduands who sit in the back of the hall and their loved ones who are seated near the stage. During the ceremony, the graduands will make their way up to the stage, accept their scroll, and be applauded by their families and fellow students. In the sea of formal robes in the ceremony, attendees may spot black gowns, red and green gowns, and possibly some other eye-catching colours. The black robes are worn by those graduating with their bachelor's and master's. Green and red robes are for those picking up a doctorate degree. To the families, friends and supporters watching from home today, your encouragement, pep talks and well-timed cups of tea have helped our graduates reach this day. Let's take a moment to appreciate the parents who still don't quite understand what their child studied but are immensely proud regardless. Well done, everyone. You've earned this celebration. our ceremony will begin. There's a degree of pomp and circumstance to the day that echoes back through the years. These rituals connect our graduands today to students from the very first British universities formed in the 13th century. This procession isn't just tradition for tradition's sake. It's the university's way of honouring the past, affirming the authority of scholarship, and marking the threshold our graduands are about to cross. Now it's time for the procession to start. Senior academics of the university are led into the Great Hall by 2 mace bearers and will sit on stage throughout the ceremony. There is a mace bearer at the front of the line and one at the back. The latter is called the Esquire Bedell. Both carry large silver maces that they put down on stage. This is a ceremonial kick-off to the day. The mace bearers are usually staff members from the university who have volunteered to take part. Row by row, the procession makes its way up to the stage, passing proud faces in the congregation, students in mortarboards, parents wiping away tears, tutors exchanging proud glances. A senior member of the university, such as the Chancellor or a Provost, will be the last to take their place. They'll stand before the attendees and declare the congregation open.
Good afternoon. I declare the congregation open.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. What a really wonderful occasion. It is a real pleasure to be able to welcome you to, first of all, the university, our wonderful green campus, its iconic red brick buildings, and of course, this magnificent Great Hall. And today really is one of the happiest days in the university calendar, where we celebrate your graduation ceremony. Now, my name is Carl Dern. I'm the Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Head of the College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, and also Professor of Mechanical Engineering. And graduates, family, friends, thank you so much for being here today to celebrate this very special occasion. Graduates, as we celebrate today, it's not only your academic successes that we look at, but it's also your commitment, perseverance, and indeed your personal growth. As members of your respective schools and our college, you'll have spent time immersed in computer science, civil and electrical engineering, mastering the principles of computation, infrastructure and electronics, applying them to real-world challenges, and learning how to design, build, test, and improve the technologies and systems that shape how people live, work, and move and connect. Your journey, I'm sure, will not have been easy to get here. Achievement at this level rarely is. It's earned through your effort, resilience, and that willingness that you've shown to learn from what doesn't necessarily always go to plan. I know for sure that you will have encountered demanding assessments, complex ideas, difficult code, designs that needed further refinement, circuits and systems that did not behave as expected, and moments where surely the next step was not immediately clear. But you found a way. You found a way by thinking clearly, working purposefully, and supporting one another. You've built knowledge, but also character and, critically, confidence. Many of you will now be leaving formal education behind and preparing to enter industry, research, enterprise, or public service. Others will continue with further study. I urge you, though, as you go out into industry, not to lose that spark of curiosity that has you've nurtured during your studies. Keep listening to that internal voice, that voice that asks, have we tested all of the edge cases? Will it stand up? Will it connect? Keep asking why, how, and what if. Keep seeking new knowledge, gather evidence, weigh arguments, and always be open to changing your minds. The world, I am sure, needs computer scientists and engineers who combine technical excellence with integrity, sound judgment, and the confidence to ask difficult questions. Be one of them. Now, universities are also places of learning, but they're also places where people with different beliefs, customs, and personalities meet, exchange perspectives, and form lasting connections. Treasure those connections, treasure those relationships. Many of these will be people you'll turn to in the years ahead. They will share in your success, sustain you through tough times, and like the knowledge that you've built here, those bonds will extend far beyond your time here on campus. Of course, we couldn't truly celebrate today without taking a moment to acknowledge those who've played such an important part in getting you to this place today and in your achievements. Behind me are just some of our magnificent staff who've encouraged your intellectual curiosity, nurtured your creativity, and inspired you to keep going. You've been supported by tutors, professional services colleagues, and student support teams from across the university. And now this is the first of the tests that I will pose for you today, graduands. I'd like to invite you, if I can, to thank everybody that supported you during your time here at the university. And please don't think I'm competitive, but in the previous ceremony, mathematics and metallurgy and materials, they were very, very noisy. So no pressure. But can we have a really big round of applause and cheers for all those that have supported you to this point? That's a great start. I can see that I was worried after lunch we'd be a bit low, but I'm very encouraged by that. Thank you so much. But also, in front of me, and indeed joining us from all parts of the world, are your family, friends, supporters, and I can see a sea of joy and immensely proud faces, proud in everything that you've achieved. Now, I'm sure that you will all have that person or people who've had faith in you, people who've supported you, encouraged you, showed you kindness, and helped to make this moment possible. So, once more energy again if we can. Let's give them, graduands, a huge round of applause and a very loud cheer to say thank you. I'm very, very optimistic. This is going to be a good one, I can tell. So very soon, you'll come up onto this stage, and our Chancellor, Sandy Okoro, will admit you to your degree. This is your moment. Professor Van Moorsel, perhaps with the toughest job in the House, navigating all of your names in the correct order, has the toughest job, certainly, and be kind to him as he works through it. But when he calls your name, that is your graduation. Family, friends, that's when we pass over to you. That's your cue to whoop, to cheer, to whistle, and make as much noise as possible. So, final advice from me. New shoes, glamorous football, footwear, a life-changing moment, but steep steps. So do be careful as you come up onto stage. Give a big smile to the cameras. Take a moment to savour everything that you've achieved. And above all, enjoy your graduation. Congratulations, graduands, and very well done.
Now for the handing of the scrolls.
Chancellor, to you and to the University, I present the names of these graduates as listed in my programme, prove worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees.
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit those persons listed in the programme, both in attendance and in their absence, to the degree to which they are to be presented.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aad van Moorsel. I'm the head of School of Computer Science here at the University of Birmingham. And I indeed will read through all the names, doing my best to pronounce them as well as I can. And you will have the chance to make all the whooping sounds that Professor Dern was promising us. So please do participate, and I will pace my introduction of people accordingly. We start College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, School of Computer Science, Master of Science, Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, Dines Singaria. Master of Science, Computer Science, Alicia Tapa. Master of Science, Data Science, Vibhab Kaushik Venkatash. Data Science and Artificial Intelligence, Rowan Sakari. Master in Science, Computer Science, Kate Quackenbush. Isaac Roberts. Jonathan Roberts. Annette Sa. Vishnu Sankara Kumar. Tunai Raj Sarvya. Navjot Singh. Henry Southall. And Samuel Wickstead. Master in Science, Computer Science with an industrial year, Elia Villarmia. Matthew Rees-Widdop. Master of Engineering, Computer Science and Software Engineering, Ashra Sundar. Afra Usman Mohammed. James Waller. Oliver Young. Mark Shmimomi. Bachelor of Science, Artificial Intelligence and Computer Science, Karishma Shah. Assam Umar Shaikh. Shishun Si. Siddharth Ranjit Srikankure. Suknais Kaur. Sharifan Nalie Binti Siyat Yazid. Yeyung Yang. Salman Dawood Yahya. Wei Hang Yu. Chuk Hang Yu. Ya Chi Tsao. Yun Chu Zhu. In Artificial Intelligence or Computer Science with an industrial year, Matthew Tan. Ramzi Issa Wardana. Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, Joshua Raybold. Autumn Juniper Reese. Ewan Richards. Rajin Rishwan Izam. Alex Robles. Nor Sulaika Rossley. So Jin Ri. William Scott. Tolua Lopi Oluwadamisi Segun Ololade. Laura Sheldon. Shiun Shoyebi. Kirat Singh. Sahib Singh. Sachpreet Singh. Frederick Snow. Su Waijin. Divya Sugrim. Kang Chang Tan. Yachi Tang. Yan Lun Tang. Christian Turner Jones. Humble Emabesi Udonya. Vivan Wagela. Serena Wahid. William Wainwright. Callum Walters. Alexander Rear. Dane Westley. Chun Ming Melville Wong. Ethan Wright. Xian Wu. Junjae Yang. Douglas William Yellow. Robin Young. Elvin Zaviv Avila. In computer science with an industrial year, Ibrahim Rabi. Catherine Ragazza. Ryan Ribeiro. Ida Roshi. Harmeet Singh Sandhu. Pavita Sekon. Eleanor Simpson. Amish Taylor. Leila Tantavi. Fithulan Vimal. Alison Yearsley. Computer science with study abroad, Frederick Robinson. Matthew Woodcock. Bachelor of Science, Computer Science with Digital Technology Partnership, Matthew Ian Ridsdale. Isha Sampla. Joshua David Solomons. Abdulatif Ahora. Daniel Wales. In the School of Engineering, Doctor of Philosophy, for research into techno-economic analysis of renewable energy integration into power grids, Mohammed Salah Al-Ashkar. For research into enhancing restoration resilience in modern power distribution systems with mobile power sources, Abdullah Ali Ahamdi. For research into the performance of granular columns in soft clay soil, Ahmed Ali Al-Masmoum. For research into stability control and adaptive protection of power grid under high renewable energy penetration, Shami Ahmed Asiri. For research into digital twins framework for highways, Jonathan Leslie Corker. For research into flexible electrical power interconnection technologies of load-centered city distribution networks, Pei-Tian Guo. For research into the use of automated visual processing for non-invasive condition monitoring of railway track switches, Daisuke Hirata. For research into rail decarbonization via multi-energy train traction system, Kangru Yang. For research into stability control of power electronics-dominated power grids, Yi-Chin Lee. For research into stability analysis of modular multi-level converters in power grids, C. Young David Lee. For research into artificial intelligence methods to improve the safety of pedestrians, Sheng-Chi Liu. For research into assessment methods for the security of Ethernet-based communications on trains, Mark Stephen Lodge. For research into establishing a global building information management system standard for the sustainable management of heritage assets, Lucy James Lovell. For research into automated shuttles, what the public think of them and how they can become part of urban transport solutions, Hisham Youssef Mohammed Makashay. For research into the fate of expiratory bioaerosols indoors, Alexandra Claudia Monca. For research into understanding the correlation between urban roads and buried infrastructure, Reza Mova Hedifar. For research into functionality layered concrete containing rubber aggregate, Mohammad Abdurrahman Mujali. For research into the use of artificial intelligence methods for radar detection, Harmandeep Sangha. For research into wastewater treatment using willow trees, Bruno Barreto Santos. Master of Science, Advanced Engineering Management, Operations Management, Kausho Rice Ramachandran Padmanabhan. Master of Science, Advanced Engineering Management, Project Management, Anuragavan Natakopan. Dayan Rashid. Master of Science, Civil Engineering and Management, Iman Ansari. Abhishek Ramu. Master of Science, Railway Systems Engineering and Integration, Ram Kumar Sarmay. Master of Science Structural Engineering, Subhika Chandran. Master of Science Geotechnical Engineering, Bethany Barker. Melody Waring. Master of Science Railway Systems Engineering and Integration, Sean Charles Bernard. Joseph Carville. Dean Hobson. Kasim Hussain. Richard Jackson. Jason O'Donovan. Jordan Short. Christopher Alex Woods. Master in Science, Mechatronic and Robotic Engineering, Adrian Lee Tzu Wai.
Chancellor, graduates, graduands and guests. Cleon Jones has loved computers ever since he first saw one at the age of 3. By the time he was 7, Cleon was learning to program the BBC microcomputers at his local primary school, objects that he remembers as a rare treasure. He had been introduced to the world of programming by his father, an electrical engineer, and during these early years, by his own admission, Cleon greatly enjoyed spending days breaking computers and putting them back together again. Around 10 years later, Cleon came to an open day here at the University of Birmingham, which proved to be a formative experience indeed. Unlike any other university he had visited, computer science colleagues at Birmingham introduced Cleon to something he was hearing about for the first time: artificial intelligence. Instantly enthralled, Cleon joined the university a few months later and subsequently crossed this stage in 2006 to graduate with a BSc in Artificial Intelligence and Computer Science. 3 years later, in 2009, he was on this stage again, graduating with an MSc in Advanced Computer Science. Since leaving Birmingham, Cleon has established himself as one of the world's premier innovators and researchers in artificial intelligence. From 2015 to 2023, he worked at Google Research, where he designed and implemented breakthrough technologies for generative AI, arguably the most disruptive innovation of the past decades. Specifically, Cleon and his team invented the transformer architecture, or, to put it another way, Cleon put the T into ChatGPT. In 2017, he was one of the co-authors of a landmark paper entitled "Attention is All You Need," which introduced the transformer architecture. The paper has since been cited 258,584 times, according to Google Scholar when I checked last week, and Nature ranks it as the 7th most cited paper of the 21st century. The invention of the transformer approach continues to revolutionise artificial intelligence, underlying the power of large language models such as GPT and Gemini, and tools such as ChatGPT. In 2023, Cleon moved on from Google to found the startup Sakana AI together with colleagues, where he is the Chief Technical Officer. Sakana AI aims to make generative AI affordable and sustainable by developing innovative technologies that work well with small data sets. As CTO, Cleon is leading the more long-term speculative research at the company, the ultimate goal of which is to find the next big thing, sometimes dubbed post-transformers. With fond memories of his undergraduate and postgraduate years in Birmingham, Cleon has been pleased to maintain a strong relationship with the university. Over recent years, he has returned to Edgbaston to meet academic colleagues and to give presentations and guest lectures for artificial intelligence, BSc and MSc students. We look forward to welcoming him again over the months and years ahead to share his experiences and insights on artificial intelligence, entrepreneurship, and more besides. Chancellor, to you and to the university, I present Cleon Jones, deemed worthy of admission to the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Cleon. Well done. By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit you to your degree. Well done.
I would like to start by thanking the University of Birmingham. This is a great honour. Yes, it feels like a great honour to accept the graduate, the honorary degree. So, Chancellor, thank you very much. So, yes, as you heard, I was heavily involved in the creation of the current wave of AI technology. You are welcome, or I'm sorry. I know artificial intelligence can be a bit of a controversial subject, but I hope that most people in this room are on my side. So, because it's controversial, I won't talk about it much today, because today is not about artificial intelligence, nor my involvement in it, or about me. It's about you, the graduates. It's about what advice I can give you of how, now that you're being released into the world and about to forge your path forward, to share my life experience of going from being sat exactly where you are now to getting to where I am here today, being able to receive such an honour. But first, let me just say, well done. No, really. If you're anything like me when I was graduating, you're too busy feeling relieved that it's over, or too busy worrying about what's coming next, to really take the time to be proud of your accomplishment. Don't be fooled by the room full of people who have done the same thing. This is not easy, what you've managed to do. You've gotten a degree from a very well-respected and well-recognized university. So take a moment. Well done. So what advice can I give you? First of all, I can honestly tell you that I got to where I am today by simply following my nose. I never optimized for a good job or a high wage or money or notability. I simply did what I thought was interesting and important. I chose to do a degree in AI at Birmingham because I thought it was a fascinating idea. As you heard, I came here, I saw the poster for artificial intelligence, wondered what is that, found out, thought it sounded fantastic, and the rest is history. Arguably, a bad idea at the time, because we're in the middle of an AI winter, and there were very, very few jobs in it. I will offer this disclaimer, though. I am just one data point, so it could be survivorship bias, but it is nevertheless true. I've only ever optimized for interestingness. Now, my fellow graduates, you all probably have some sort of plan in your head right now for what's happening next. Get that job. Get the next degree. Move to that place. Move up the ladder. You might feel if you don't get the perfect job or things don't go to plan, then things are falling apart. Some of you might already be sitting there feeling that things are already not going to plan because you perhaps didn't quite get the exam results you wanted or haven't quite yet managed to secure the next step. Well, I'm here to tell you, things will not go to plan. And I'm also here to tell you that it doesn't matter. Bad luck will happen, it doesn't matter. It's not something to feel bad about, it's just life. To prove it, I'm going to tell you something that perhaps I shouldn't, given that I'm in the middle of receiving an honorary doctorate, so apologies in advance. But I actually had to resit the second year of my degree while I was at Birmingham University. Something that at the time, you can imagine, felt like an irrecoverable blunder. But in the long run, it didn't matter. It didn't hold me back. So all of this might sound like bad news, that things are not going to go to plan. But actually, it's very, very freeing because it means it's a complete waste of time to worry about the future. How much of the time and energy that I spent worrying about the future do you think helped prepare me to move to Japan and start an AI company? None of it. I had absolutely no idea that was going to happen. And you also have no idea what's in store for you, so don't worry about it. There are many paths to success, and I'm proof of it. It's a long story, but very briefly, I graduated in 2009 with a degree in AI, straight into an AI winter, so no AI jobs, and straight into recession, so no jobs at all anyway. Despite a good degree from a good university, it took me half a year of continuously interviewing to find a job. When I eventually did get a job, it was not in the industry I was aiming for. When I eventually got the job at Google, it wasn't in AI, it was at YouTube, which was fun, but not a good fit. And I had to spend 4 years proving myself before moving to Google Research. It wasn't even where I thought it was going to be. I thought I was applying for a job in London, but it was actually in California. I got to where I am via a very meandering path, not at all according to plan. And how much of that was bad luck in hindsight? I think it's true to say that if I had not graduated into recession, then it's true to say that I would not have applied to work at so many places, including Google, out of desperation if I had immediately got a job. Was moving to Japan, end of March 2020, just as the pandemic was getting started, bad luck? Or was I lucky to escape San Francisco, where I was hit much worse? Was it bad luck when I had my visa application to the US rejected straight after getting a job with Google and had to spend a year in Paris first instead? So you will have bad luck, and that's fine. Just roll with it. But there's another very important side to this coin. You will also have good luck, and you need to embrace that too. Accept it without guilt. When I found out that I'd actually got a job in Google's headquarters in Silicon Valley rather than in London, as I thought, I could have said that I was not good enough and not taken the offer, as I honestly felt at the time. It's not your job to decide if you're good enough, it's theirs. Feelings of undeserved luck is often where imposter syndrome comes from. You have to unapologetically take every opportunity you get, because that is also life. If I had not accepted the job when I found out it was not in London, if I had not been lucky enough to be sitting near the team that eventually worked on the transformer, perhaps I would not be standing here in front of you today. And please remember that everyone else's good and bad luck are mostly invisible to you, so it makes absolutely no sense to compare yourselves to them or to judge others. So where are my computer scientists? What an absolutely crazy time to be graduating in computer science. I've been programming non-stop since about the age of 13, and now I'm not sure I will ever write a line of code ever in my life. That is not to say that the knowledge of programming is now useless. We are now professional code reviewers. Though it might seem that everything is different, some things have not changed at all. We've always had programmers that write code they don't understand, or copy and pasting from Stack Overflow, or being too lazy to read the code, or to refactor it, or to design it, or to write the tests. The only difference now is you can be lazy faster. So just like before, getting high-quality code requires deep knowledge of programming and computer science and discipline to use these new tools to their full potential. Now there is no excuse to be lazy, because you can just ask the AI to write the tests for you. We are living through the most interesting transition in human history, in my opinion. And you, and I'm talking to all of you now, you get to be the ones pushing it forwards. Things are changing quickly, and this technology is new to everyone. The thing I want to impress on you is this levels the playing field, so you don't need to catch up, and you can now go into the world and how to decide how to make use of this new technology. In summary, life is chaos, and you just have to embrace it. And please remember, this might be the most important thing I'd say, even if it is the most cliched thing. It's not about executing a plan anyway. You're supposed to be having fun. The plan is pointless if you're not actually enjoying life in real time. There are many paths to success, and yours won't be perfect or what you planned. Roll with the bad luck, accept the good luck, don't worry about the future, and have fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Chancellor, to you and to the university, I present the names of these graduates as listed in my program, proof worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees. We continue with Master in Science, Mechatronic and Robotic Engineering, Adrian Kok Chun Yi. Mohammed Rushedi bin Mohammed Hazri. Abdul Kadir Murtusa Chokwala. Kai Sang Lim. Master of Engineering, Civil and Railway Engineering, Evan Donian. Master of Engineering, Civil Engineering, Aladdin Ali. Stephen Davis. Yakivan Singh Hayer. Tashinga Perkins Mayira Panze. Ajay Man. Omar Mohammed. Blossom Olisimeki. Adam Weewall. Master of Engineering, Civil Engineering with Industrial Experience, Madeline Bryan Orr. Garlene Carr. Isabel Lewis. Nikila Maladi. Gabriela Raisin. Master of Engineering, Civil Engineering with Industrial Year, Harry Austin. Abubakari Bayo. Emma Chetwin. Ruben Wilfred Thraves Lord. Mika Louis Minima Mayer. Jessica Rebecca Woodward. Master of Engineering, Electronic and Electrical Engineering, Nuruddin Ahmed Yusuf Mohammed Abdelmahid. Ihsan Ahmed. Mohammed Ashan. Salvatore Giuseppe Faia. Man Ho Kwok. Carmen Mahmoud. Tochukwu Vincent Omeje. Master of Engineering, Electronics and Electrical Engineering in the Industrial Year, Sam Atkerton. Jack Foster. Mark Omisakin Edwards. Chapang Alicia Rasioto. Mohammed Saklain Imran Talu. Master of Engineering, Mechatronic and Robotic Engineering, Mohammed Isam Abdullah Al-Amdullah. Emily Browning. Yusuf Daffer. Kaushikhan Kayadevan. Kevin Anirudh Gandhi. David Ashbel Niru Kitonga. Florian Mealing. Surey Aravind Sukantan. For Mechatronic and Robotic Engineering with Industrial Year, Xing Yip Chung. Ifiolua Oluo. Bachelor of Engineering, Civil and Railway Engineering, Ashley Age. Kit Naylor. Bachelor of Engineering, Civil Engineering, Noon Abubakar. Goran Amin. Cicely Atherton. Ranveer Birak. Isabel Francis Daniels. Daniel Hickson. Saad Khan. Yu Tung Lau. Niam Rollins. Sibratul Islam Sabit. Civil Engineering with Industrial Year, Miar Theory Kain. Bachelor of Engineering in Electronic and Electrical Engineering, Mohammed Bello Abdulaziz. Joel Ibrahim Ajuba. Abdurrahman Otman Binjalan. O Long Chun. Yiming Dai. Mariam Alnemer. Hannah Fitzsimmons. Omar Husam-Eldin Osman Harun. Kutay Kasap. Jeffrey Lung. Su-Jian Lee. Shuming Liu. Tomasa Marchetti. Benjamin Charles Marks Bagots. Hamza Manzoor Magal Nasim. Muhammad Taha Qureshi. Sain Ramaraju. Hussein Salah. Fatima Ramsi Salat. Leon Shen. Xiaodan Shu. Yunchuan Yuan. Xinjiang Yang. Linley Zhu. CJ Su. For Electronic and Electrical Engineering Industrial Year, Mohammed Hussein Ul Haq. Sahil Upadhyaya. For Electronic and Electrical Engineering with Year in Computer Science, Victoria Nemour. For Mechatronic and Robotic Engineering, Nabil Abdelwahed. Chukwukamadu Victor Azimaka. Lujia Chen. Wanhei Chen. Aditya Dil. Hassan Abgad. Ahmed Hassanin. Chenri Liu. Cheng Tong Ye. Charisma Paul. Shamra Ekbal Dat Mohammed Rahim. Ahmed Khalid Ali Sidamet. Talia Elan Vickery. Yongxiang Yang. Atasango Yilmaz. Bachelor of Engineering, Mechatronic and Robotic Engineering with Industrial Year, Asad Adil. Yusuf Ahmed Ali Ekoli. Ozir Mohamed Ishaq. Louis Massingham. Nandini Sharma. Bei Dei To. Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Ubaid Anjum. Louis Basnayaki. Guyuan Chen. James Hall. Isaac Santongo Kaya. Heng Yuan Pai. Lei Chakarchi. Bachelor of Science, Electronic and Electrical Engineering, Maya Sami Bagais. Jung Yun Lee. Yan Cheng Liu. Yuhan Liu. Xuan Ma. Denny Raditya. Tin Ian Wong. Da Wai Zhang. Qiran Zhao. Yihang Zhu. Hu Yi Zhu. For Electronic and Electrical Engineering with Industrial Year, Jonathan Harvey Bennett Pickford. For Mechatronic and Robotic Engineering, Napak Sutapintu. Daniel Walker. Master of Science in Advanced Engineering Management, Operations Management, Avani Sriram. Advanced Engineering Management, Project Management, Kazim Abashah. We return to PhD, Doctor of Philosophy, for research into the development of scroll expanders for organic Rankine cycle, Anil Tashkin. For research on hydrogen trains with open-ended winding induction motors, Hakimi Hanifa Goren.
Good afternoon. Okay, let's try that again. Good afternoon. Oh, you are there. That's good to know. Okay. Right. Now, I know that some of you maybe wanted to make a little bit more noise than you did, so I'm going to give you the opportunity. I want you all to make as much noise, raise the roof, whoop, do whatever you want to do to celebrate our class of 2026. Let's go. Any more? Keep going, keep going. It's a celebration. Well done. It is a celebration. You are allowed to make noise. My name is Sandy Okoro. It is my huge honour to be the Chancellor of this amazing university. I graduated from here myself many, many years ago with a law and politics degree. And in fact, 3 generations of my family have been educated here. My mum did nursing. As I said, I did law and politics. And last year, I gave my son his degree on this stage when he graduated in criminology. So I'm glad you're in the mode of cheering and everything. This is what we need, because it's a huge celebration today. I have some news. It's not exactly hot off the press, but it kind of is. The news broke earlier, I think at the end of last week. But the National Student Survey results are out. And this is a survey that measures student satisfaction. And the University of Birmingham came number 1 of the Russell Group universities. That deserves a cheer. We are all so pleased about that. And for it to break during our graduation weeks was really, truly wonderful. So what am I here to do? What is the point of me, as you're thinking? So my role here, before you all leave and are reunited and start your celebrations, is to give our graduates today a few words of inspiration before they go through those doors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you, graduates 2026, a few things I wish I had known when I was sitting in your position. The first thing I wish I'd known, and I wish somebody had told me, was to have the courage to be unapologetically me. A first-rate version of myself, not a second-rate version of someone else. I know many of you scroll through social media, TikTok, Instagram, for the oldies in the audience, Facebook, and you see everybody's lives, and they all seem so perfect and so polished, but you are seeing an edited showreel. You're not seeing what's really going on. You're in the middle of living your backstage life, and you're seeing someone's front page edition. So please, don't be fooled by that. Nobody has got it all sorted out. There is no finished product out there. We are all a work in progress. And if you feel you may be a little bit behind or you haven't quite done what everybody else is doing, you are not behind, you are becoming. And today is not a full stop by any means. It's the beginning of a fantastic and brand new paragraph in your life. And let me tell you a little story about being unapologetically me that happened to me. Not long after I graduated from here, and I was starting my career in law. And let me just remind you, my surname is Okoro, O-K-O-R-O. Easy to say, easy to spell, in my opinion. But I was told, Sandy, if you really want to make a career in law and you want to work in some very, very British institutions, you're going to have to ditch the ethnically sounding surname. And I thought, what, are you kidding? No way. This is my surname. This is my culture. This is everything to do with me. And I thought, you know what, if somebody doesn't want me because of my surname, I don't want to go and work for them. Now, I have to say, at the time, I was married and I had could have had a very English-sounding surname, and I chose not to have it, just as well, because he's no longer around. He wasn't up to the job. Don't worry, he's not under the patio or anything. But I would have been lumbered with that name. So I'm really pleased that I kept my surname. And in fact, roll forward several years later, let me tell you two things. One, when I was appointed to be Senior Vice President at the World Bank, I got a personal letter from President Buhari of Nigeria who said they keep an eye on the diaspora, they look at the surnames, to congratulate me on my new role. And second, which I am hugely proud of, as you leave here, to the right, my name is carved in stone, Sandy Okoro, as the 8th Chancellor of this university and the first woman and the first black female, and Okoro is carved in stone. I have to say I love saying that. I always get such a warm response, so I'm never getting tired of saying that one. So, graduates of 2026, please stand your ground. Love your culture. By the way, you can have more than one. It's not a competition. Embrace your identity. Cherish your story. These are not obstacles. They are your foundation. Never shrink in the hope of making somebody else feel comfortable. If the room is too small, find a bigger room. And guess what? The right room will never, ever require you to leave your identity at the door. The second thing I wish I'd known when I was in your position, and in fact my dad did tell me this, but I'm not sure I was completely listening, is just how invaluable your education is. My father was born in rural Nigeria, and neither of his parents could read or write. And he was taught to read and write by the British missionaries and ended up getting a scholarship to the London School of Economics. And he said to me, Sandy, your education is something no one can ever, ever take away from you. And I remember that as such a powerful thing when I reflect on it. I'm not so sure I understood what he really meant at the time. And Nelson Mandela said something, not to me, by the way, but generally to everybody, that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So, graduates of 2026, you have just been given something hugely powerful, and that is an education from the University of Birmingham, and you are now graduates. And things will happen in this world. We heard from our honorary graduate, things don't always go to plan. Markets rise and fall, governments change, jobs come and go. Sometimes jobs don't even come. But nobody can repossess your education. And to every parent, sibling, supporter sitting at the front, you weren't gowned up today. You didn't come on the stage and shake my hand. But you are part of this journey too. You are core to that. And I congratulate you too. And, of course, I think we need to give a huge round of applause to the academics behind me and your supervisors who supported you through this journey. The third thing, and I think you touched on it as well, say yes whenever you're asked to do something that scares you. That is the moment in which you will really, really rise. There are going to be things that you're going to be afraid to do, and you might even choose not to do. That is the wrong thing. If someone asks you to do something and you feel you can't do it, do it. That is the very moment at which the biggest opportunity, trust me on this, will come your way. The biggest moments in my life began with me saying yes before I felt I was ready. By the time you're ready, it's too late. Take that chance. Bet on yourself. You can do it. One of my greatest idols is a lawyer called Helena Kennedy, Baroness Kennedy. She's a very famous human rights lawyer. And I had the privilege of meeting her once, and I asked her what her advice was for me. And she said, Sandy, always say yes. No one is going to ask you to do something they think you can't do. They will see something in you that you do not see in yourself, and trust that and go for it. So, class of 2026, I want you to say yes when you feel that's the last thing you want to do. And we heard a bit about AI today. Now, let me just say something. Every generation has had something they have feared. Every generation goes, oh, this is the end of jobs, this is the end of mankind. You know what? It isn't. This is just going to make us a bit faster. And yes, AI will write reports, analyze data. It can even compose music. But some of the things it cannot be kind. It cannot be courageous. It cannot build trust. You can do those things. It cannot replace your judgment. That is very key. Your integrity and your humanity. And most of all, it cannot be you, and the world needs you. So when you're leaving this university today, in a few moments, remember you're a University of Birmingham graduate. Remember the wonderful friendships you have built here, the setbacks you have overcome, the ideas you have challenged, and the person you're going to become because of the fantastic education you've had here. The world needs your energy, it needs your compassion, it needs your curiosity, and it needs your courage. And remember, when life offers you a choice between betting against yourself and betting on yourself, please go bet on yourself. And let me just take a moment about taking a bet. It's England versus Argentina tonight, in case anyone hasn't realised. I am betting on England for a win and to see them in the finals. Now, graduates, parents, friends, siblings, I always write a poem for my graduates. And this poem is entitled, and it's just for you, called Go Bet on Yourself. As you leave the halls today, don't let your courage fade away. The road ahead won't always be clear. Don't let doubt become your fear. Remember where your story grew. This place believed in all of you. Now carry hope in all you do, and let your values guide you through. Wear your name with pride each day. Never hide who you are away. Stand up tall, be strong, be kind. Lift those a step behind. Some doors will close, that much is true, but others wait because of you. Keep knocking, keep taking that chance. Sometimes life begins with one brave glance. When fear says, wait, you're not enough, answer back, no, I'm made of tougher stuff. And when the world asks, who are you? Smile and let your actions prove. So dream out loud, stand strong, aim high, stretch yourself towards the sky. And when life asks what you should do, go bet on yourself, and England too. Congratulations, class of 2026. Okay, I'm about to release you so you can all be reunited and celebrate. But before that, we're going to process out of the hall with the students behind us. So if you could stay in the hall while we do that, that would be fantastic. Okay, I declare the congregation closed.
live stream has now ended.